Hi, I'm Nisha Moseley, founder of River City Servicing. Over the next few minutes, I'm going to walk you through who we are, the problem we solve for investors, and how mortgage note investing can fit into your portfolio. It's a little about me. I spent about 17 years in governmental accounting, serving as a financial manager for the city of Richmond. I've been a real estate investor since 2011, and outside of River City Servicing, I co-own Blue Premier Property Investments, a fix and flip company with one of my best friends. And I'm also a mortgage note investor myself, which means I invest in the same opportunities I bring to you. And when I'm not working the numbers, you'll probably find me on the tennis court, not professionally, unfortunately. But what makes me a little different is that I don't just do one thing. My primary focus is buying mortgage notes, but I'm also a fix and flip investor. I've been a landlord before, and I'm open to more buy and hold deals, and I'm also wholesale friendly too. So one investor with knowledge of several ways to get a deal done. And in all my dealings led me to focus on the sexier side of real estate, which is why I started my company, River City Servicing. River City Servicing, operating under NEPIC LLC, is a Richmond, Virginia-based real estate investing company. We love all things notes, buying, selling, and originating. So we buy and sell residential mortgage notes, and on the origination side, we offer private money lending exclusively to real estate investors for fix and flip deals. And I want to be clear about the last part. This is business purpose lending only. We are not a consumer lender. So at River City Servicing, you're not just working with me alone. Our in-house team consists of me and my mom, Marie Moseley, who handles most of our marketing and administration. And what makes that work is the network behind us. I am an active member of several established note investing communities, which means constant and vetted deal flow, ongoing coaching, and shared due diligence resources. And behind every deal is a team of vetted professionals, from experienced attorneys, licensed loan servicers, title companies, property managers, realtors, and insurance specialists. Every part of this process, from title work to servicing to legal, is handled by people who specialize in exactly this kind of transaction. So to get into what we do, let's talk about the challenge facing long-term investors. Most investors we talk to are dealing with the same frustration. Traditional banks, products barely keeping up with inflation. The stock market can swing hard in either direction at any time. And that kind of instability isn't something everyone wants, especially as they get closer to retirement. And rental real estate, while it can produce great income, comes with tenants, toilets, and turnover. What investors really want is consistency, income that's structured, backed by a real asset, and doesn't depend on how the market feels today. And that's where mortgage note investing comes in. It gives you a real estate backed way to generate consistent income without taking on the day to day of owning or managing property. Instead of being on the landlord side of real estate, you're on the lending side. You're not fixing anything or managing tenants. Everything stays passive with a licensed third party servicer taking care of communications, payments, and compliance. It's a strategy built around consistency, discipline, and protecting your capital. So how does this actually work? Picture it as a simple chain. The investor becomes the lender, and that lending position is backed by real estate. Well, at its core, mortgage note is a legal obligation for someone to repay a loan, and that loan is secured by real property, not by market sentiment. So when you invest in a note, you're stepping into the bank's position, not the ownership role. You own the debt, not the property, and your payments are handled by a licensed third-party servicer. It's a lender first structure, and that's exactly where I want you to see yourself. So here's exactly where we focus. We buy non-performing and distressed mortgage notes at a discount, which means we become the bank. We prefer underwater, owner-occupied assets, and we work primarily across 10 states: Virginia, Texas, Ohio, Michigan, Florida, the Carolinas, Indiana, Missouri, and Kansas. And on the residential side, we're typically looking at $50,000 to $500 in as-is value, And on the commercial side, 250,000 to over a million in as-is value. So when we're evaluating a non-performing deal, here's what we're looking at. Property values between 50 to 500K. We avoid markets with long foreclosure timelines. We look for occupied assets with the payment history behind them. And our approach always follows the same order. We try to get the loan back on track first, offer cash for keys when that's not possible, move to foreclosure only as a last resort. And if we take the property back, we always price the asset to sell. So sometimes these deals come individually and sometimes they come in bulk. Banks and hedge funds will often sell notes in pools, and we're able to acquire them at either as a single note or part of a larger portfolio, depends on what makes sense for the opportunity. So here's what that actually looks like from start to finish. So first we acquire the note, buying it from a bank or hedge fund at a steep discount. Then we work the workout. So our vendors work directly with the borrower to get them back on a path to consistent payments. And once that happens, we have a reperforming note. It's current again, and at that point, we can either hold it for cash flow or sell it to another investor. And to be clear, yes, we invest in performing notes too, not just distressed ones. So let me show you what a real note looks like on the performing side. This one is in Little Rock, Arkansas. It's a performing note currently available in my network, not one I personally closed, but it's a great example of the numbers we look at. Unpaid principal balance, interest rate, monthly payment, remaining term, asking price, and estimated yield. This one is sitting at almost an 18% yield. Here's a second example. This one is in North Carolina. It's a smaller balance, shorter remaining term, and an even higher estimated yield at just over 20%. This is the kind of deal flow that is out there right now and that we source on a regular basis. So as I mentioned earlier, our primary and secondary markets span 10 states. This isn't an extensive list, but it's the states we target the most. These are the markets we specifically chosen because they tend to be lender friendly, which matters a great deal when you're working through note investing. And no matter what we're working on, there are 6 things that stay constant. Our number one goal is always to try to get the homeowner back on track, not to take their home. We only buy first liens. We only buy at or below 70% of market value. Along with our vendors, we review every file and every title. Our vendors handle servicing and foreclosures when needed, and we place insurance on every asset we hold. So who am I actually looking to work with? We're seeking potential lending partners, people with cash, savings, 401k, or self-directed IRA accounts, real estate investors looking for above average returns, tired landlords who are done dealing with the 3 T's, tenants, toilets, and trash, REO investors who can't find deals in today's market, fix and flippers who are ready for something more passive, and people who simply want to put their CD or IRA money to work harder than it currently is. So if any of this resonates with you, let's have a conversation. I love to get on a 30-minute call to discuss your goals and expectations because not everyone is the right fit, and that's okay. But if earning above average returns backed by real estate does make sense to you, I can walk you through some of the opportunities we currently have available. You can reach me at rivercityservicing.com, by email at nisha@rivercityservicing.com, by phone at 804-915-3451, or you can grab time directly on my calendar using the QR code below. Thank you so much for taking the time to learn about River City Servicing. If you have any questions, I'm just a call or email away. And yes, these are tennis rackets with tennis balls.